show today. It's gonna be a big show today. Trust me on that. With us at all. I promise you that you're not fucking with us at all. This is the greatest show that has ever been on YouTube, and I promise you that. I promise you that. This is no scripts. There's no scripted rehearsal. There's nothing but realness, rawness. If you miss Friday, That was probably the realest show you might have ever seen in your life. And Chef cleaned it up in his show. We are the realest show on YouTube, period. And I'm just happy to be here. And we did it together. I said we, not me. We. Shout out to Rasta Baby. We love you, Rasta Baby. Thank you for your help and support. Thank you so much, Don Frank. Thank you so much. To all the moderators, we freaking love you. Chevelle can't be here. I saw her earlier. Thank her for all her support. Thank you for all your support. This is the greatest show of all. And we made our goal. We made our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Now we got to wait 2 to 4 weeks to get the monetization. And when that comes, then we could do what we need to do. But we fulfill the requirements. They wanted 1,000 subscribers. We gave it to them in 5 weeks. Unprecedented. With no celebrities. Unprecedented. They wanted 4,000 watch hours. We gave them close to 20,000. Unprecedented. Unprecedented. We did it. We did it. Not just me. We did it. I'm collecting all the money, but we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Just take it like that. You know how some people try to make it feel like it's a team shit, but they really trying to go for themselves. That's me right now.
I feel like Scottie Pippen right now, man.
Yeah, Scottie Pippen right now. But listen, with all jokes aside, I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. And you know who's up next. We have Darrell. He has 7, close to 800. Then you got E Black, and then you got Chef. What happens is, if you know, the Chef literally got like close to 100 subscribers last week. We want to continue that. Give him 200 this week. We're gonna give him 200 this week. So we want to make sure he becomes monetized by the beginning or the beginning of December, and then we're all winning, because it should be going that order, because that's how much we got. So we're gonna stack subscribers. Shout out to On the Block Jen. I sent you the link. Hopefully you come up today. We got a lot to talk about. Shout out to On the Block Jen. We want to get Jen to be monetized as well. She's close 800. Shout out to the conversation with Queens. We want all those ladies to get monetized by the end of the year. This is what we're doing over here. We're not going to wait until we get 20, 40,000. We're going to make sure everybody in this channel get in the garden, the community garden gets 1,000. I'm just so happy. I'm in a loss for words, but we got a lot to discuss today. A lot of stuff happened today in the news that we really need to talk about. And it kind of is a good transition for what happened this Friday. And it's funny because, like, you got a black guy and a Latin girl, and their situation was literally my situation on Friday times 100. It went there. This is why you gotta be careful who you impregnate, because that shit could have been left. So I was just happy that we got to resolution. Everybody got the situation out. That particular lady got to tell her story and got to clear claim her narrative, and I got to say my narrative, and we move on in peace. That's it. I didn't disrespect her. She didn't disrespect me. Yes, she did, but it doesn't matter. I didn't disrespect her. I can't control her. I can only control what I said. And that's why when we talk about the baby today, we could talk about what you can control as a man. Because I agree with the baby, but certain things he did was disrespectful. Right? So we're going to talk about that.
Before we get into that, can I say something?
You can say whatever you want.
You know, on this journey we started, man, 5 weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys know that for me, it was been a journey. You know, it's been a proud moment to come on and see things from the start. When I tell you King is one of the hardest working individuals that I know, he is definitely one of those, and that's no stunting.
Thanks, man. Thanks, brother.
And you know, Chef, like I said, we talk behind the scenes, you know, and when I say that the community that we're in is one of the most peaceful and graceful communities that we've ever like seen on YouTube. The minds, the jokes, everything is good spirits. You guys are becoming my best friends. But I just want to give you guys thank you.
Thank you, Holden. Thank you, Holden.
And I want you guys to keep supporting us.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, community. That was real. Be Black, I appreciate you. Thank you. Chef, any words before we start everything? And I would love for you to do the garden proverbs. That's what I call it, the garden proverbs. At the end, so when they go to your page, um, that's what they do. Also, please go and check out E Black's page. He be having a great pregame. I know y'all might be too early for y'all when I come from work, but go and check it out, and also check out his specials. He has a couple of dope ones. A rapper turned to a pastor in the Bay Area. You gotta check that one out. Also, go and check out Darrell's joint. He has some good reactions, some controversial reactions. So we want to make sure that happens, and get things out there. The Garden Proverbs. Quantum Love loves the Garden Proverbs. Every time she does the Garden Proverbs, she just be happy. I like Quantum Love, man. But we're gonna say that to the end because we want more people to hear the Garden Proverbs. And if you watch this, the thing about the Garden Proverbs, it's literally the same thing, but it's not the same thing every night. It's crazy. He drops a different jewel every night. So but if you don't pay attention, you're not gonna hear the jewel that he drops every night. So please, the God in Proverbs at the end will lead to his room. So when you hear the God in Proverbs, get ready to make that transition to his page. And I'm seeing that he's bringing in 40, 50, 60 people a night. Let's try to keep that up, right? Because I know that the West Coast doesn't come into 10 o'clock our time. So he's catching both ways. Make sure he catches both ways. Before y'all go to sleep, say what's up, and then let the West Coast have some love. With that being said, shout out to Alpha Kingdom. We appreciate you. Tony Angel, we appreciate you. It's gonna be a great show. The best thing I got since I've been doing this show, I had one of my peoples and some random people say they binge watched Conversation with King. That's crazy. They binge watched us. You know how many hours we have on this? That's like you spend the whole weekend.
You got almost 200, probably over 200 hours now.
That's amazing. That to me made me feel so good. I cut the music off because if you notice the old videos, it's mute, and I have to do that so I don't get any issues. Shout out to OG brother Clarence. Thank you so much for always coming in, giving your insight and providing guidance of just making sure that we are unified. We still warlords over here, but we warlords over here. We always show deference to the elders. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. With that being said,
can I give a shout out to the Bay though?
Yes, you can.
Shout out to the home turf, man. East Oakland showed up on my page, but not only that, I had somebody from Oakland and some people from the Bay hit me up on my personal inbox, and we conversated. People are watching this show from the West Coast.
Right.
We got love from the Bay. So that I want to give my shout out to my home. I may not be living there, but it's all love. I'm always gonna be a representative, ambassador for y'all.
You know what's crazy? You want to hear something freaking crazy? And this is how I know our show is gonna blow up. God handpicked the 4 horsemen. So I don't know why people argue. But God handpicked them because they were the people that came on the first show to show my support. But peep this. We got me, East Coast. We got E Black, West Coast. We got Chef. He's from Brooklyn, but he lives in the South. And guess who lives in the Midwest? We didn't even, Darrell, we didn't even plan that. Y'all didn't even notice that. Chef, you didn't notice that. I just figured that shit out right now. There's no way you noticed that.
What do you mean there's no way I noticed? Look at all the shit I noticed. I ain't noticed where we live.
No, you didn't know. You didn't know we represent all the regions. You didn't notice that.
What are you talking about? I'll let you have it, man.
You noticed that?
Of course. Remember we told it. Cali, Texas, Atlanta, Brooklyn. Yeah. And in Michigan.
So what else did you notice?
What do you mean? What else
What else stuff you noticed that I just realized when we got to 1,000? That's why we have a global appeal. That's why I don't like to say we're black influencers. We're global influencers. What else do we have? We have the whole black diaspora. Black Americans, African Americans, Caribbean Americans. What else did you notice?
All right, come on, give me what I don't notice.
What else did we notice?
I want you to start cooking.
Nah, it's a lot of stuff that's crazy that you would think that we handpicked this ourselves because we check so many boxes. We check so many boxes. You have no idea. No idea. We check so many. We have a married man. We have a young man. We have an older man. We have a single man. We have a man in between. We have so many things. We have people. We have a man with no kids, a man with kids, a man with multiple kids. Like we cover everything. So when we talk about men perspective, is nobody on our panel with us in the nights like Willie Dean and them that we don't cover everything, every perspective.
Yeah, I can see that makes a lot of sense. I agree.
We cover every perspective, every single perspective. We got somebody that was incarcerated. You got somebody that's a Christian. You got somebody like we cover everything. Everything. But you know what's crazy? 100 Rights to the Two. The audience is just as diverse. 100 Rights is right. Its audience is just as diverse. Wow. I'm just happy to be here. With that being said, let's give a shout out to our sponsors and let's begin to get cook up and get spicy. Turn the likes up, please. Cause you know how I feel about the likes. So don't change because we got 1,000. We need 10,000. We need 10,000. Turn the likes up. Shout out to Ripple for always sponsoring us. Thank you so much, Ripple. Please go and get it. No nicotine, no THC. This is plant-based puffers for those who like the aesthetics of smoking and like to smoke herbal extracts that are healthy for you, your body, your mind, and your soul. Please go and get Ripple. Thank you very much. We're about to start charging motherfuckers. So, shout out to the other sponsor, Love and Life Through the Eyes of Travel. Please go and get it. Kindle, Apple iBooks, Book Baby, and Amazon. Please, please, please. Also, when we get monetized, will be 2 to 4 weeks. Be on the lookout for Chef and his green pill that will be given. That it'll be on this page. Will it be given that?
Yeah, once that's situated, the green pill, and be looking out for the True Pill, some True Pill merch.
Okay, True Pill merch will be a Chef whole situation, and that's True Pill merch will be it will be either on this or the Facebook. So you got to look out for him. He's gonna come out with that, or it might be on his page. We don't know where it's gonna be, and you can sell that without having the monetization, right? You can have a link to that.
Yeah. All
right, perfect. The True Pill will be on his page. Go and cop that. Please show love, and then show the love to us. Also, Marisol will have her stuff out. Conversation with King merchandise. Be on the lookout for that. We have the T-shirt. Being Great is the new petty or the hoodie. We also have Conversation with Kings. I never sat down with the Four Horsemen. I want to have a T-shirt, and we all split the profits on that. Hopefully we gear to either Darrell or E Black to sell it from their page. So I didn't finalize the design, so I have to sit down and talk to y'all about that. If how y'all want to do that, it's up to y'all. I'm down for whatever.
Well, I already got the shop set up, so y'all need to
do just so when y'all then you Chef and Darrell design something y'all all agree about, and I'm okay with it. Whatever y'all want to do. If the Four Horsemen, get it from that page and stuff like that. All right.
Will it be available at Burlington?
I don't know, man. It's crazy. I'm not starting no trouble. I don't want no problems. Yeah, I don't want no problems, man. But at the end of the day, that's basically it. So we want to get to what's going on. So let's go on a hot topic today, spicy topic. The baby, Dani. Today that was the hot topic, and I'm telling you, it had the shade room and every other thing on Smash today. And what I saw was very disturbing to me as a man. And please come on stage if you have to put the link up, Maricela, and make sure whoever wants to come on stage and discuss this. Once this topic is done, we will put you off the stage, and we would bring you back up if you have any opinions on the next topic. We start with spicy topic number 2. The reason why we did that because we realized that this is something that we need to talk about. So Dani was actually charged with a simple assault following incident of the baby on Instagram Live. This was amazing because if you know the story, she was actually with her child at the time, and her 3-month-old child. And we want to make sure that we talk about this and put the baby in consideration. I like quantum love. Damn, everybody say Dani is messed up, but see, a lot of celebrities were rooting for, they were rooting for, how can I say, for Dani. But it seems like my garden has been saying that they like Dani was wrong. Well, let me get my personal opinion on this matter, if you don't mind. If what the baby was saying is the truth, that she crept into his penthouse and she left the Plan B a pill, and she did that for his attention and everything, and she hits him and stuff like that, then I would say that he has no choice but to call the authorities. Do I agree with calling the authorities when you live a certain life? No, but some men, I tell them, I don't care how gangster you are and what type of street code you take. You're going to call the police when you get into a car accident because you need to report it. you can't, unless you could talk it out and get paid immediately. You got to get reported because you want to take it to a civil suit. But also, I advise all men, if you feel that you're being attacked by a woman and you know that she's not going to stop, before you put yourself in jail, run away. If you can't escape, call the cops, because you do not want to hit that woman. You do not want to hit that woman. Even with my situation last Friday, I asked her a question, did I ever hit you? And she said, no. I don't believe in that. If you do beat women currently, I want to tell you, please stop. I'm not one to judge you. I'm not saying you're a monster. But today, if you hear this message and you put your hands on a woman, I can't stop you, but I will tell you to please stop. Moving forward, stop hitting women. Ladies, if you put your hands on a man, don't get mad if he calls the police on you. Don't get mad. There's ways to handle your anger. What he did to her was foul. He called her a side chick. Even if she is a side chick, once she becomes your baby mother, she's no longer a side chick. She's the mother of your legacy, one of your many legacies. That was wrong. Well, it was even wrong. He called her a side chick in front of the whole social media world. I don't condone privately dissing somebody and call them names, but that I'd rather you do that in the privacy of your house than do it so the world could see it. Because now that's going to be there forever. You called your mother a side chick. So what is her daughter's gonna be like, wow, Ma, daddy never loved you. That was wrong. But she has no reason to put her hands on him. She should have never touched him. And she should have never snuck in the house. He has many homes. Many homes. Dani, you won. You have a baby by the baby. You have a baby by the baby. Is that a tongue twister? You have a baby by the baby. Right? You have a baby by the baby, but guess what? That means you're more likely you're financially stable. But here's the misconception. That because someone's rich doesn't mean all their children are rich. That's expensive. That's expensive. And throughout the whole time, baby said, I take care of my kids. How? Because that money is like sports money. You make a lot of money for a short period of time. But if you don't stretch it, you don't invest it, it could be problems later on.
Yep.
It could be some serious financial issues. That's why I'm so happy I didn't become 100 millionaire until I became 41. I think I'm 40. I'll be 42 March. Hint, hint. So at the end of the day, I just want to let y'all know it's crazy. She won, but she messed up. I remember Natalie said something last week that hit me home. She said, this is when you have a relationship, you stay in a relationship longer than you should.
Mm-hmm. Think about that.
When you keep on going back, to someone who doesn't want you, who doesn't value you, who doesn't appreciate you, who doesn't even see you as their better half. So who fault is it? It took this man to call you a side chick on a social media world for you to get it. You didn't get it when he told you, when he broke up with you when you were pregnant? His baby mother of his first daughter, eldest daughter, says, why did she think she was going to be different? Didn't we talk about that last time? Why do you feel like you're going to be different?
Everybody thinks they can tame the wild stallion.
Why? And maybe they can.
You remember Black Beauty?
Yeah.
It's literally a dream where it's this romanticized thing that they can tame the wild stallion.
Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up before we stop talking. We gotta get busy today. Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up.
They made a Disney movie about the shit.
Well,
Black Stallion.
Yeah, we have to understand. She was moving a little bit reckless.
Tell me about that.
She was moving reckless. She just like, it's so funny. I see the parallelism between what happened to me Friday and now. It's just that I'm 6 feet.
All right, just be careful, yo, with where you speak about it, how many words you use, because I ain't mediating shit.
No. I never talked about the person before. I'm talking about the person. I'm just talking about I never talked about the person before. I'm just talking about the person now. And I love Aisha says, she says, hide your legs, ladies. Hide your legs. So what happens is, it's this level of entitlement that comes along with this. Wow. Shout out to my brother since I was kindergarten. Alu. I love you, brother. Since I was in kindergarten. It's entitlement. And it was sad. It was sad. It was sad. Let's not do this anymore. Ladies, be mindful who you get married to, who you let impregnate you. Because what happens is you're going to be the one to blame. Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up. Fellas, why do you think he constantly says, I take care of my children? Because that's what he perceives as being a man. I could impregnate any amount of woman I want to as long as I take care of my children. Is he wrong for thinking that, Stephanie Black?
No. You know why?
Yes.
Because hypergamy is so much of a specter within the environment, and that and the amount that we're able to provide and how much provision is given. Guess what? They're like, oh, okay, so this is what y'all think is important, right? This is the thing that's the most important, right? No romance without finance. Okay, I got all the finance I want, so that I can get all the motherfucking romance that I want too. And you can't say nothing because you've set the tone for what is acceptable. I don't have to be 6'4" if my wallet is. So I got the 10-foot wallet. So I'm gonna be as dope as possible. You set the parameters. You set the criteria for what's the dopest shit on the planet. So all I have to do is check those boxes, tell me shit, and I'm the monster that you create.
Aisha said her pretty girl privilege was revoked. She haven't experienced too much rejection in her life. And that's what happens. When a woman gets with a man, guess what happens? If they never felt rejection, you say, no, I don't want you anymore. They go crazy. They can't understand it. They have no self-accountability. She said, I was out a side chick if he bought me a car, a house, and took my whole family out for my birthday.
Yeah, that don't matter.
You know what's crazy? That doesn't make a difference. Fellas, we know people that buy their side chicks everything. That doesn't mean anything. What you're gonna see what you are when you have a child or when you gain weight. You're gonna see what type of side chick you are, and she got to see it today. She got to see it today. You can't be mad at a person for treating you the way that he's used to. He's going to treat you the way that he's been treating other women. It's not going to change overnight. What she could have done is said, you know what? Let me just leave the situation peacefully, or let me just stick around and hopefully he changes. She was simply asking, like most women in her position, can I be the last baby mom? That was her honor. That's why she gave him the Plan B pill. That's what I think. I want to be the last baby mom, because if you have a baby after me, then I'm just another baby mom. Pray for her. Send some peace and light her way. Send some peace and light his way. And let's just hope that eventually they get over this. And he apologizes for publicly embarrassing his mother of his child. And she apologizes for expecting a man to treat her better than he treated other women in his life. That comes from a place of audacity. Woman, stop having audacity. You're not different. You're not special. You're not. You can be special, but you have to know you're special within yourself. And you have to demand it from the start. People are doing things because they think that they're special. She had the nerve to tell Baby, your career didn't pop off until I got you on the internet. Then I would have asked her, why didn't your career pop off?
Can we talk about the fact that, you know, people are trying to resolve issues on the internet?
Yeah, can we talk about that, please?
You know, I see too many times, like even normal people who have children, they then proceed to go on the internet and disparage their baby fathers, their baby mothers. They go on YouTube, press record, and just splatter out a whole bunch of hatefulness towards their significant other. And they use this box as their personal therapy session. And I wish people would stop doing that, because you know it makes it hard. I don't want to say it makes it hard, but it's just
Like
it's just another continuing factor of how black relationships have failed.
hmm.
And I want people to understand that have better conversations with each other, learn how to talk to each other, learn how to love each other, learn how to walk away. Don't run to the internet.
What I want to say is not just black couples. I think all couples go through this issue,
I do
right?
too.
I think all
I
couples.
speak directly to my black people. So
Okay, I respect that. I speak to all people, and I respect that you speak directly to black people, and that's the voice we need to hear. But I want to let people know that we all go through that. And I like what Willie Dean said. There's a lot of Willie Smith. Sorry, there's a lot of people out here making babies who are unequally yoked. They were never meant to be together, and babies won't keep them together. Wow, wow. We can't hear you, Chef.
It depends on the individual. It depends on the desire and longing that individual man has for having a child. It depends on how much reverence that he has for the birth of a young new soul. So we can't say that we think that it shouldn't be like that, but believe it, there's dudes that love their children so much that And even the fact that there's a seed that belongs to them, there's dudes that would marry a woman of ill repute. Okay. There's dudes out there that if they impregnated a prostitute.
Moderators, please give out the links for people to come up. Moderators, please give up the link so people to come up. Sorry, Chef.
Yeah, you good. There's people that are out there that would literally marry a prostitute if they got them pregnant.
Pretty woman.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm saying not even necessarily pretty women. I'm talking about there's some people that have that level of respect. And I mean, listen, you, King, you know, and I'm not trying to salt you up, you know, on your smooth moves and never being touched, right?
Right.
But I'll say this, not a prostitute, but I guarantee you, bro, if there was a seed that was going to be approaching this planet from the netherworld that was going to exist on this planet, you would never be able to walk away, and you would somehow be tethered to that person, not necessarily on a relationship basis, but I know you would understand, yo, I made my mistake, I think now I got to make it work, and you potentially will be exhibiting grace for the next 18 years and shit, you know? But that's the thing, man. So, you know, there's men out there that will naturally sacrifice for their seed. That's really what we're supposed to do. Women have nesting. We don't just have protection and provision. You know what I mean? There is the love piece as well. And it's a special kind of love. It's the kind of love where you want to hug your son and love them and kiss them on the cheeks and play with them the same as your daughters. But you understand that you have to have the kind of love where even though you want to hug them, you got to push their ass away and push them into the jungle so that they become tougher. So that they become
like
you get what I'm saying?
But do you agree? Do you agree with what he did?
No, I don't agree with what he did. The reason that I don't agree with what he did is this. There was a way that you could have garnered enough fun. I'm gonna give him this piece and give him the benefit of the doubt on this piece first. If he would have just simply recorded the event, the press would have been out and he would have had to explain and make a statement. With it being live, or millions of people, you know, they were actually witnesses to it, so he wouldn't have to make a statement. The thing is, you see this whole conversation, I don't think you caught it. That's because you asked me again. The whole reason that I said that about you, King, right, is because you would not do that shit.
Nope. I proved it.
That's what I'm saying. All I was doing, you was asking, was it, I didn't tie it, I didn't land the. No, even you. And I even gave the example of the person being a fucking prostitute. You would not have done that.
No.
Right. So it was not wrong. But the thing is, this is that beast. That's the dragon. You choose to ride the dragon, your ass is going to get burnt a couple of times. Personality. Okay? Google the song Cult of Personality. This is a cult of personality. People who worship and sacrifice at the altar of fame. Right? So, this internet shit, the cameras, the paparazzi, being your.
You froze up. He froze up. Yeah.
Well, I think what he was saying is that all the lustfulness of fame and clout affects the way that people are interacting with each other.
Right.
And that's kind of what I'm saying is that, you know, some people need to detox themselves from the internet and not run to it as a mechanism to handle real life conversations.
Right. I agree 100% with that. I also agree with the fact that if you know someone doesn't want to be with you, stop going where they're at.
Yeah.
Right? Stop going where they're at. Right?
What did the baby do wrong though? That's
he didn't do anything wrong. He went to his penthouse. She was there. If he doesn't want her there, whether she has his baby or not, that's according to the law, that's trespassing. According to the law, that's trespassing.
But in some states, if somebody's been there for 72 hours, yeah, it's a civil disagreement.
All right, and I understand that. But if you know a man doesn't want you around, why are you there? Get the lawyers involved and go and get your coins and move on about your business. Like for example, last week that person kept on coming to our room. You wouldn't assume that I was talking about you if you wasn't in our room. Let me explain something. It's funny that she said I don't want to talk about that person because that person we will be doing business with pretty soon. I don't want to drop that out the bag, but maybe I might. But we might be doing business, so I want people. Nick Cannon doesn't talk to any of his baby mothers like that. Why is that? It's a level of respect. It's a level of honesty. And also, it also deals with like one of his baby mothers, if not the first one, is Mariah Carey. No one's topping that. Apparently, people thought they were better than other baby mamas. That's why they thought they could do what they wanted to do.
Yeah. Can I ask you something?
Yeah, talk to me. Put the likes up too. Please put the likes up. We close. Let's get to 100 before an hour.
One thing.
Moderators, let's get to 100 likes before the hour. Moderators, please, let's get to 100 likes before the hour. Thank you very much.
The one thing I noticed about this situation that a lot of people are kind of missing is that her brother spoke out.
No, her brother spoke of him and called him an internet gangster, but you wasn't saying that when he was holding down your sister. Like, come on. And what are you really going to do? Because baby is really like who he says he is, and it's good that you stand up for your sister. But what you should be doing, brother, is making sure you have enough money to take care of your sister. Because if you was doing your thing, she would have to go to his crib.
Yeah, but the fact of what I'm saying is that in a lot of times these online spats, it does spill on to family members.
Absolutely.
Sometimes the mother of somebody's child may curse at her baby father, and then the other baby mama will say, "I already knew."
Mm-hmm.
Start tagging people.
Right.
Next thing you know, people are fighting, and this is real life stuff. This is why I tell people stop going on the internet with your personal business, because forget the baby. Let's talk about regular people. When you do this type of stuff, people get killed over this stuff.
They get killed, but at the end of the day, we should also know once you sign up once you are a public figure, this is what comes with it.
Yeah.
This is what comes with it. Like we can't stop that. This is the life you chose. You cannot come on internet or the TV world or movie world and not think people are not going to be in your life. This is the part you sell for all the potential riches and fame. You have to sell a piece of you. Whether you like it or not. Once again, I hate to go back. I didn't know someone was coming Friday. I didn't know what was going on. And it happened, but I understood because this is the life I signed up for. And believe it, I know that other women have hit up that other network and told them stuff about me. And they have it in reserves. I already know. So don't be surprised when you have more people coming out about me. But guess what's going to happen? The truth is going to come out. And you're going to realize I'm who I say I am, no matter what.
So if that was your sister being disrespected in front of millions of people, you wouldn't have nothing to do?
No, because if that was my sister being disrespected, that's who you chose to be with. You broke up with him several times. You went back.
I get that.
My job is to make sure when my sister needs money to take care of a kid. My sister's a lawyer in real life. She has more money than me. And she has more money, so she could take care of her children with her husband. She has 2 beautiful children with her husband. She's okay. You know what I mean? This is the problem. Stop marrying men. Stop having babies by men that you're not marrying. And I'm living that. He said Kay is pregnant, but I'm living that because at the end of the day, guess what? There's no woman that can say I have a baby by them. That's why I don't tolerate certain things. A woman can't come at me any which way because I don't have a kid by you. I can leave anytime I want to, and I'm not married to you. So anytime you feel any attachment to me, that's you. Because once you get married, then you belong to us. If we have kids, that belongs to us. But once I'm not married to you, I don't have any real true obligation to you. Why would you trust a man that doesn't want to marry you? Why would you trust a man that doesn't want to have a business with you? Why would you trust a man that doesn't put you first? Car, boats, taking your whole family on a trip for your birthday doesn't mean he loves you. I don't trust these females. They can love you one day and sleep with a man the next day. I don't trust these females like that. And they shouldn't trust me until I prove myself. And that takes time. That takes time. That takes time. Let's be real. People say I'm picky. They say, oh, King, this is why you're not married. No, I'm not married because it's hard to trust people out here. You don't know their ulterior motives. You don't. All you know is that you have a certain type of feeling towards them and you appreciate them, but you don't know where they stand. She loved the baby, at least she thought she did. Now look what happened. She says love made her dumb.
Yeah.
Did it really? You act like you married a baby before he had money. Fame made you dumb. Hope made you dumb. It was funny. I wasn't going to talk about it today, but let me jump into it. I think it's a term. I wasn't supposed to do it. I was saving for next week, but I'm going to talk about it now. There's a term, and I bet you Chef don't know this term. Good time, man. I bet you Chef don't know this term. I got a term for you. There's a term called future faking. You know what that means? You on mute, brother.
Mute.
Future faking. You know what that means? Hello?
Yeah, it's basically building shit up. It's basically
I hate you. I hate you. You know what it means. Shut up. So you know what it means. You know what I hate you. I was trying to get you like you didn't know what that meant.
building truth. Listen, it's building truth around an elaborate lie, right? There's the people, but the craziest shit. That's what fake it till you make it is. Or they talk about speak things into existence. There's people that will, they say, sign a check that your ass can't cash. There's people that will sign the check, but they care for their ass, so they'll make their ass be able to cash that check. There's people that fake it till they make it, and there's certain people. Some people, they call them sociopaths. Some people, they call them blessed. But they're actually able to craft. They're actually able to craft some reality based on a lie.
It's called manifestation, right?
Yeah, it's called manifestation. If this
wait, hold on. What's the difference between manifestation and faking until you make it and just being a complete fraud?
Results.
Look, this is what I'm talking about. This is what you get on our page. You don't get these conversations on any other pages but us. The difference between manifestation, faking and you make it, and being a con artist is called results. And sometimes the results is based on the person's patience, because we saw that movie called Acrimony.
Mm-hmm.
He made it eventually. So he became that. What he was saying was end up being true. Now listen, future faking, and I'm going to say shout out to the lovely lady that gave me this concept, who we talked last night, the one I always block, always block. I unblocked her, and we had a great conversation last night. She makes my heart pitter patter. Does that make sense? Pitter patter, you know when your heart pitter patters? Am I too gangster to say pitter patter? Anyway, future faking, the definition is when someone uses detailed vision of the future to facilitate the bonding and connection in a romantic relationship. Let me say it again. When someone uses detailed vision of the future to facilitate the bonding and connection in a romantic relationship. The person that came with this is a psychologist based in New York City. His name is Greg Kushnick. I want to give him his props. We don't steal information or quotes. Chef, I think everybody does that. I think everybody says, hey, if we stay together, we can build this and that, and this and that, this and that, this and that. But if we don't make it,
engine.
So, oh, engine number 9. What do you think?
That's a great question. It kind of, maybe I'm catching where it's going. It's about the work that you put in. It's about the work you put in. Perfect example. I could tie it into, there's a job. You see, there's job requirements for that job you're looking for. You currently don't have a job.
Right.
And let's say out of all of the requirements that they have listed, let's say there's 10, but you're only familiar with, say, 3 or 4. All right. Somebody that's going to be interviewing is going to make them believe that they're highly skilled at 8 of them, even though they may only know 3 or 4. And they figure, gosh, I'm going to learn that shit. I'm going to have to learn it. And I'm going to have to put it up. They walk into the table understanding that they are not a draft pick. They walk in knowing they're coming in as a walk-on. They're not recruited. It's different. So in order to really hit the person that's coming in as a walk-on, they know they have to work 3 or 4 times as hard as the draft pick in order to prove themselves, because they know there's a natural lack of required skills. So if I'm in a relationship with that person, I would also have to understand that since we lack that natural requirement or criteria of skills, then it would require more work to make it go.
Right.
You know, if we go to me, you got your wife, E Black got his wife, I got a wife, and then we go to the couples sack races, but my wife only got one leg. I recognize I'm gonna have to put in additional work in order to help compete with you guys, because I already walking into the game knowing that I have a natural lack of what's going to be required.
Right.
So the 4-letter word is work, but the other pieces is wanting to do the work. 5. That's going to be the thing.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you, man. We are people driven by hope, driven by potential. We never just deal with somebody transactionally like we should at times, right? It's basically, no one says, what do you have on the plate? And they go, okay, this is me. Let's go. Sometimes when we make that decision to deal with somebody, we make that decision based on how the future might turn out with that person. And we can miscalculate those things. We can miscalculate those things so bad that we end up getting hurt. Miscalculation in regards to picking someone in the future can be played out in many things. And this leads us to the next spicy topic. And I'm hoping that we have 100 likes right now so I could just move on to the next spicy topic. Please give us 6 more likes so we could just move on to the next spicy topic. But I'm going to start it anyway. A lot of men have been complaining to me secretly and saying that my lady complains about her weight and doesn't want to lose weight, and she has issues with it, but she complains about me. And I always tell those guys, that is not your lady's fault. You knew who you were marrying. Then these same guy says, even if I had all the money in the world, she wouldn't take care of her health. Once again, that's not your lady's fault. You knew who you were marrying. What happens is, and let me know if I have a bad theory. I want y'all to correct me if I'm wrong. I believe when you marry a woman, it's her job that makes her stay in shape. If a woman's making money, it doesn't require her aesthetics, then she has a less likely chance of staying in shape. What do you think, guys? Because what I'm seeing is a lot of women that stay in shape in their 40s and their 50s, their jobs actually require them, for the most part, not all women, to be in shape to make money. Now, if you know you can make 6 figures without being in shape, why would that be a priority? That goes for men too. Why would that be a priority?
It doesn't. You're absolutely right on that. I think that men are definitely on the side of not having to keep up their weight or keep a control of their weight when they make money because of hypergamy. They know that the money cures all. Women on the other side replace the men based on the fact that they have money. Therefore, they lower the need for aesthetics. They then become compliant within the society.
Mm.
They say, you know what? I make enough. I can get a man anytime I want because I know there's enough broke men out here who want a woman like me. That's just my theory, but you're absolutely right.
You know what's funny? Teddy504, thank you for that comment. Teddy says, when I look at these alcohol or liquor brand companies, sales reps, they be looking drop dead gorgeous because their job is based on how they look. If you have a woman that's a teacher, she doesn't really look, she doesn't have to look a certain way to keep her job. So why do you think she should care about her weight? Woman, her job, I think, is not the man, it's not society. I think a woman stays in shape for the most part based on if her quality of life is affected. Correct me if I'm wrong.
There's some bad nurses, though. I will say that.
Yeah, but they'll be better if they said, okay, your quality of life is based on this. But you can look at it. If you go to Emirates flight, if you go to Emirates airplane and you go to a Southwest airplane, you're going to see the difference of stewardess. You're going to see a difference. If you go to the private hospitals and you go to public hospitals, you see the difference in the appearance of the woman. I want you to drop some knowledge on us.
Personally, I believe that in multiple businesses, there's going to be certain requirements, certain physical requirements. If you're in the military, there's going to be certain jobs that's going to require a certain level of health.
Right.
Without question. Especially if it's going to be a physical job, especially if it's going to be a job that has been predominantly, done by men, and it has a high, like for instance, somebody working on an oil rig, somebody working as a fracker.
Turn the lights up.
Somebody who works a pneumatic drill on a construction site.
Right.
Some of the most physical jobs, somebody that works as, a window cleaner for skyscrapers. There's going to be certain types of requirements that you're going to have to be able to exude, whether you're male or female. Now, there's certain jobs, because I want to kind of peel out the ones that I just mentioned, the ones that require physical strength, and stamina and endurance.
Right.
The ones that I'm going to talk about, though, is the jobs that normally entail aesthetics.
Right.
Bartender.
Right.
Server. Flight attendant.
Professional dancer.
Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
Yes.
All right.
Ballet.
High fashion modeling.
Right. Actress.
High fashion modeling. If you don't look, you ain't getting a shot if you don't look like you took 3 hits of crack before they want to see bone.
Right.
They want to see bone.
Right.
Real estate. I've seen some.
Ooh, for the most part. No, you don't have to be your weight. You don't have to manage your weight, but the people that are successful look a certain way. Like you can't sell real estate in Hollywood or Bel Air if you don't look a certain way. You can't. In New York City, you could probably sell a house in Brownsville, but when you want the prime real estate, no, you won't. So with that being said, should men, this is the real question. I was trying to set Chef up and E Black up. The real question is, why are men so hard on women when their livelihood doesn't depend on how they look? Why do we have the nerve to talk down to women and request them to look a certain way when that doesn't pay the bills? She's not J-Lo, or she's not Shakira. Her body image doesn't stop her from making six figures or $1 million. Why do we as men, especially when we can't tell them quit your job and focus on how you look? Once again, these women go to work and they come home to a man who can't afford them, telling them, hey, I need you to look a certain way. Is that audacity?
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, we get a different chef today. He's saying a different answer from what I was expecting.
I don't think it's audacity. You can go. Remember, we talk about the different kinds of love. You know, there's the ones that a lot of people in the chat and who watch the show was talk about the dutiful, action-based love stuff. You know, that's one thing. But if you want the other kind of love, the romance love, the love that where you 1,000 miles away and you're thinking about that person and it makes you work harder. You know, the kind of love where you know that when that person touches you, you know, the way it makes you feel and vice versa. The people that respect that kind of love, that kismet, that cosmic love, that chemical romance love, those folks, that's going to be the thing that keeps them going. So what if I'm one of those people and she hasn't been doing it, but I know that's something that I need? Sometimes people think that we're just asking for shit that we want.
What?
But what if we're those people that are so in tune with us, we know what we want? Then if we're asking it, that means, baby, this is not what I need. This is what we need, because that's the thing that continues to fuel my fire.
Right.
So maybe I'm being literal here, but remember you used the term audacity, right? Was I being audacious by requesting that she fuel my fire like she did? That would have made me marry her when I did.
Right.
Is it wrong for me to ask? Is it wrong for her to ask me why I don't pull out the chair anymore, or why I don't hold the door anymore, or
right.
why I don't open the car door to let her in like I used to before we got married? No. Is it wrong for her to ask, why you don't do this or why you don't do that when you used to do it? No. So I don't think that it requires, I don't believe it's audacity, especially if she was a beautiful, shining gem when I met her, and that was the thing that enthralled me and made me want to intertwine my whole life with her. It ain't nothing wrong for me asking for a little of that back again. That's what got me here.
Right. But do we have the audacity to ask her? I like the answer you gave. So it doesn't require for us to provide a lifestyle that she wants, where she doesn't have to worry about earning money for herself.
It's not that. No.
Okay, let me say
because we made that agreement without her having that lifestyle where she didn't have to work. Remember, if we walked into the table and we were both working people,
right,
and she was sexy as hell when I met her, I'm just at H-Town. I want that old thing back.
Right.
Yeah, you want that old thing back. That's what here. Can I get a little bit of that quesadillas you used to make back when you were trying to get me to stay at the crib? Back when you went and you didn't even play video games and you went and got an Xbox for your crib because you know I like to game. So now, can I get a little bit of that back? Can I get a little, those little peep toe Louboutins that you had when you were rocking when we started kicking it? Can I get a little bit of that back? I mean, the University of Georgia sweats cool and all. You know what I mean? But can I get some of them heels that made your thighs go pop and get your ass, you know? Can I get some of that? Just a little. I liked it. So it's not audacious at all. And the thing is, though, gentlemen, all of this what I said, I'm gonna give you this claim and then we watch this. Don't get fucked up now. Just trying to use this. This requires tact. It requires grace. It requires an understanding of this beautiful creature that you're with, right? It's important, you know what I'm saying? That it requires understanding as well. It's you can do it, but step lively and make sure you understand and you choose and parse your words correctly. But the thing is, remember Maya Angelou, it's not exactly what you said or exactly what you did, but it was about the way that you made me feel.
Right.
And you have to understand that you're maybe dealing with someone that is going to have to feel what you're talking. We may be practical, but they may be feeling what you're saying. So, you know, it's going to be an approach. Don't ask me for the approach because I would have to know your lady and her hang-ups and Achilles heels.
So the bottom line, the question I'm asking, does a man's financial situation give him the right to tell his woman to get in shape or go back to where you used to be? Because most of the plies, a woman's going to say, when a man goes on Instagram and he sees a dope girl, a woman always says, well, she doesn't have to work 9 to 5. That's why she can work out all day. That's what a woman says. So that's why I'm asking you this question, guys.
It's a cop out.
What?
It's a cop, not you.
No, I know that. I know that. But I wanted you to say it louder because they didn't hear you in the back in the church. This is not a church though. This is a theater. The Coliseum.
It's a cop out. My thing is this: I was working when I met you. You were working when I met you, and you were hot as hell. And you were, you know, when I say hot as hell, you could be a big girl hot as hell, small girl, tall girl hot as hell. Something about you exuded heat. Okay? Something about you exuded heat. It could have been that thing where you used to get your hair done, the nails you did, the outfits you would select. Something that you did exuded a certain je ne sais quoi. And it ain't here no more. And I'm just asking for a little bit of it. We were both working, so that can't be the excuse. Is comfort the excuse? Is comfort the excuse? When do we stop working out normally? You know, I used to bodybuild. I had pictures where I was ripped. I was abusive looking, right? When did it stop? At some point when I became just complacent and comfortable. Before, I was looking for 0% body fat. I was eating chicken. I was eating shit without salt. I was on a regimen, right? But then at some point, when I became comfortable with my results, I didn't feel the need to keep going. You know, so
going to 1,000 subscribers. We're not comfortable. We're not comfortable. And I'm glad Jay Javilla said that Eddie Murphy used to give Nicole Murphy $1 million after every child to get her body right. So he has the right to tell his woman, I don't want you to look a certain way. Does he? Because it's easy to say, hey, let's go back to what we used to be. But she's going to say, I don't have the time. I'm tired. So I firmly believe that a woman's not going to do for you that she hasn't done for herself. If she hasn't done it for herself, she would never do it for you. What do you think, fellas?
I think that's true. You know, but it goes back to knowing who you're with, picking the attitude before you commit to the whole situation. You have to be honest with yourself. Is this the type of person that you can see that can get themselves back up on the horse? Can you see this person deal with stress and drama and body image? Can you see it, or are they doing it now just for the sake of habit? Because a lot of times women are, I will say, are working out for just habit. They got their groove. They know when to drink and know when they got their bottled waters. They look cute. They're driving down the highway. They're in their comfort zone.
Right.
Then they get with a boyfriend, and you start seeing the habits fall down. Or,
Mm.
but was it really habits, or was it a lifestyle?
Mm. I believe it's a lifestyle. I believe that if you ever want to see a woman do anything or who she is, look at her friends.
Oh, that's not fair.
No, it's true.
That's
No,
not fair.
it's true. No, it's true because women are competitive by nature. If their friends is buying a house, she's gonna buy a house eventually. If her friends have certain type of jobs, she's gonna get a job. If her friends dress a certain way, she more likely is gonna shop or try to top the way they're dressing. Women are competitive by nature, so it's
So,
the truth.
so you
So
should look through their Instagram.
if you have friends that look good and that have a certain type of body type, more likely she's going to try to be the best. See, men, we compete against each other, but we don't really care what the next man is doing. As long as we happy, right? I don't care what you're doing. I'm happy. As long as my girl likes me and my mother likes me, I don't care what y'all doing. But women are competitive by nature. And if those who disagree about women not having a group of friends that they compare themselves to, 9 out of 10 chances those women are not your real friends. You are who you hang with. 1 Corinthians 15:33, bad association makes for bad habits. I'm not making that up. That's your Bible. That's your Bible. Birds of a feather flock together. That's your Bible. I didn't make that up.
So I'm just gonna start looking at girls. Well, never mind. I will start researching women's.
Black, what about when they tell you when a woman gets married, she shouldn't have any single friends? Why is that?
Because those single friends will start bringing bad habits, breeding bad habits. Yeah, I can agree with that.
I'm just saying. But now let's go to the main topic: pros and cons of a blended family. So I'm going to start it off and be the antagonist. 80% of the things I'm saying, please don't take it to heart. I'm not meant to hurt you, and I don't want to hurt you, but I'm going to keep it real. Having a blended family is probably the hardest thing a man can do. I don't wish death, prison, or blended families on any person. The reason why I don't do that is because it's very hard to unite two bloodlines together if they didn't start out together. It's very hard for a man. I'm talking for me now. Ideally, I would like to be with a woman that doesn't have children, but it seems like I'm only meeting beautiful, amazing women with children. To bring two men together with one family or another family is tough. The Brady Bunch is too much. That is the hardest thing to do. And it really goes down to who is the woman. The woman is the cohesive glue to making a blended family work. You cannot make a blended family work, in my opinion, if you are not financially sound. You can't make it work if you have ego or emotions. And if you do make it work, there's going to be moments where there are going to be disputes that you won't be able to handle. Is the blended family preferable for me? No. Would I deal with it? Yes. But it's not something I will go looking for. it's not something that I grew up in. I never grew up in a blended family, so I don't know how that works. So when women ask me, can you handle a blended family? One, I don't have children, so it's not going to be a blended family. So already. But if I had children and she had children, we're not just bringing the children together, we're bringing the other parents together and their issues. Blended family causes too much issues. Like Loverboy Lenski says, it's too much friction. I don't really see any pros to having a blended family besides the fact that you want to be tested and challenged every day of your life.
There are some benefits.
I gotta hear one. I haven't. Give me 3 benefits or pros of a blended family, and without using love and nurture and stuff like that. What are the benefits of a blended family? Oh, I get it. When they go to school, they're a gang already. They already got a gang set up. What is it? Oh, I get it. When you're selling raffle tickets. No, I get it. The pros of a blended family is when you're trying to reach the 1,000 subscribers mark, you got extra people to subscribe on your channel. What are the pros of a blended family? I don't see it.
Well, you know, what ends up happening is, say, for instance, in my situation, my mom remarried at, oh goodness, she remarried, I was about 9, but she married a guy who was, had a boy, my stepbrother, or I call him my brother. He was 7. We grew up together like brothers. That's my brother. My mom had only one child, so that was a benefit to me because I would have never had a brother. I would have never known brotherly love.
So that was a benefit to you.
That was a benefit to everybody because it wasn't just him.
But is that technically a blended family?
Yes.
Is it? I don't know, Chef. I don't think that's a blended family.
So typically,
It's not a blended family.
When both people, for me, when I understand blended family is when both people walk into the marriage with their own children.
Right. That's a blended family.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was saying. My stepfather or my father had a son, and my mom had me.
So. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. I apologize. That is a blended family.
Yeah, and when my stepdad, consider my second dad, he had 2 daughters. He had 2 daughters when he and my mom married. And, my little sister, who came from the union of him and my mom, she wasn't born yet. So I was an only child. And his 2 daughters, one of them was literally born like a few days before me. And then the other one was a few years my senior. So I instantly had a big sister and a sister that was almost like a twin because we were only born 5 days apart. And, those are my sisters to this day. You get what I'm saying? What did I learn? It felt good having other souls in the house, even if it was women. I grew up, remember I told you, out of 13 kids, man, there was 7 women, in terms of growing up in my mom's house. And, my grandma owned the building, so all of my aunts had apartments there. So I was around women for a long period of time. Okay. And then even in the house, me understanding women and learning the women that I do, it's all by virtue of the women that I came up with, because there were certain levels of understanding that I gained. So for me, it was the dopest. To me, it was the dopest. I enjoyed, there was one point where they ended up going back and living with their mom and stuff, but the time that they were living at the house was the best to me. I enjoyed their company. You know what I mean? And they were having girls at the crib. Come on, yo. I enjoyed it. It broke up the monotony of me and books and being the only child. It was something that I welcomed, Now maybe I'm an oddball and this could be just anomaly based talk, right?
Right.
There's benefits, bro. There's benefits. One of the specific, I believe, has to do with the level of reason that the parents exhibit. It has to be an environment that's created. It has to be an environment that's created, you know. But the conflict also has to be there in the beginning. In order, you know, you gotta fuck up the soil. You gotta till the soil before you can actually make it before it actually becomes fertile to be able to grow something fruitful.
Right.
You gotta mess it up. You gotta rake it. You gotta turn the shit over.
Right.
So, you know, in the beginning, my stepsister that I was doing that was my age. You know, we had a couple of issues in the beginning, but I really did appreciate her being there. You know, I just had to get used to. I had to get used to her not liking the fact that I'm actually the son that her father didn't have because I was a boy.
Wow.
So it was almost like, oh, he's trying to take my pops away.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But the thing is, but once I started wanting to kick it with her, more than kicking it with her pop, she understood. It was like it wasn't about that, you know.
So here's my thing about the blended family thing, and please don't think I'm ignorant, people. I think the blended family thing only works if please don't think I'm ignorant. If the woman wants a man, is in dire need of a man in the household, just the presence of a man in the household, and for him to provide extra financial resources.
You said if that's going to work.
No, that's the only reason why it would work. And also, combined with that, I think a man will agree to a blended family when he needs a woman in the household in regards to the nurturing aspects. For example, a woman with a son is more likely to marry a man with a child because she needs that male presence in the household. A man with a daughter, full custody, is going to marry a woman no matter what type of children she has because he probably needs a woman in the household to rear his daughter. I don't think it's a thing that is something that people go and look for. I think it's something that they fall into.
Yeah, that could be something that's naturally given in the fact that people who have children have a natural gaze on the society that they're in. They see different things in each other. They want different things. Their goals are different. You know, single life is single life. You don't have a care. Whereas people who have children, you know, they understand the needs and the slowdown effect. They understand the grocery store is needed. You can't go out to eat every day. So they're looking for people with like-minded qualities and efforts and also future goals. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what is on par with those people who are just trying to survive, you know.
What do you think? She said, Brittany B says, I see that point. The money part throw me off, but I think people with children expect other people with children. Brittany B, that's a good point, but you know what? It's funny. Most women I know I dated with children, they don't like men with children, which is weird, which is rare. But we just did a show that men with children get all the women, period. So I always wonder, I don't know, it's a lot of mixed messages I'm getting and I'm outside looking for a wife. There's a lot of mixed messages I'm getting. I'm sorry, wives. I'm looking for wives. Thank you. There's a lot of mixed messages I'm getting. Talk to me, Chef.
Mute.
No, I'm not. I'm good.
The dramatic pause.
Yeah, it's the dramatic pause.
Dramatic pause.
Yo. Yes. Yes. Now, if we say that women are naturally hypergamous, then we have to say that humans are naturally, survival based. The cow is going to graze where the grass is at.
Yes.
The cow is going to graze where the grass is at. So naturally, if there's something that you need, that your soul or your spirit feels that you need, including if you're raising children and you understand that there's a certain person or type of person or role that would need to be played within that child's life in order to make them go further.
Right.
yeah, you would do it. There's women that jump on a pole to feed their kids. So why the fuck won't she be with a man to help her? There's people that sell themselves, that do all kinds of things to make sacrifices in order to give their children more. So do I understand that happening? Without question. And do I hold it against those people? How? This person is submitting themselves to something for the betterment of their child. It may not be the most optimum solution. It may not be the most optimum solution.
Right.
But I'm speaking to the motivation, the impetus, the precipitating factor, the modus operandi, that special thing that would make somebody subject themselves to something they don't want, but for the greater good of their child.
Mm.
So do I hear it wrong when the man that's a single father raising a woman, a daughter by himself,
Right.
and he goes to be with a woman, he goes to be with a woman that he may not be as passionate with, but she has great motherly instincts, and he believes that she would be a great feminine role model around his daughter, and he doesn't go with the other one that knows how to, that does that toe curl action on him. Well, it's a sacrifice he's making for a child.
Right.
So I don't think it's wrong. We sacrifice for our children, man. That's
Right.
what we do.
I like what Victor Free's music said. The question is, are the children compatible?
And see, Victor Cruz, this is why you're a great co-host for the amazing post show on Chef Page, because you ask these critical questions. And I wanted to get into that, but I wanted to discuss before we got into are the children compatible, the baby mama and daddy drama, right? That you have to work around, right? Um, there's going to be a lot of scheduling issues. There's going to be a lot of emotional issues. It's one thing to be with someone and to love someone, but when you live with someone, that's a whole different ball game. And then Victor asked the other question, what is the compatibility of the children? The children don't have a say. When parents make up their mind, for the most part, the children have to follow suit. We did a show before, and all our shows find a way to come connected, where we said that people don't date for themselves when they have children. They date for their children. They date for their children. What benefits their children? So the question before we get to Victor's question is, are blended families a tool for survival, or is it an act of real passion and love?
I'd say survival.
Whoa, we're getting the truth here. Thank you for the truth. Don't worry, we'll be having soundboards soon. We got monetized. Go ahead.
Now,
Oh yeah, don't forget, everybody's neutral, but I'm not. It's still a war with the other side. I'm just keeping quiet until I get monetized. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's like I said before. I think it's just survival. I think definitely once you start having children, I think you're gay. The foreskin of life gets shed, get cut off.
Wow.
But
life.
it gets shedded, and you the things that you worry about before are now being important today. So it's just one of those things. Like I say, I remember looking at my daughter, and I remember just instantly feeling like a father. And I remember asking some of the children I used to mentor back in the days, what was the age that you stopped becoming a boy, and you became a man? And they would say 18. I was like, so at 18, you became a man? They're like, well, I was a man before that. I was like, no, with responsibility, you become a man. And the same thing with fatherhood. The moment the child is born, yes, you step into that, but you're a father before that. You grow into a fatherly role. So it's the same thing with these blended families, is that these people are now trying to figure out what's best to ensure the development and the well-being of their families, whether or not they are still connected with their spouse or their ex-spouse.
What's crazy is because I think it's better to have a blended family when the children are young, like under 10 years old. I think it's also better to have a blended family or form a blended family when the children are away to college. But when you get into that age of preteens and teenager, to have a blended family could be actually traumatic. It could be very traumatic.
I agree.
Chef, talk to it because I'm leading down a rabbit hole. Follow me.
But I'm holding aside, so I ain't going down that fast. But yeah. I totally agree. If you catch it, listen, you can have your kid become, you can have your kid, become step brother, step sister to a spider monkey. All right, if you get them in the house early enough. The formative years, as they grow together, in terms of the way their social engineering works, they're gonna grow together. And
Mhm.
that's just the way it is. Just like kids that grew up in, foster homes. They believe they have 14, 15 brothers and sisters, when actually not one of them is related to them. So I totally agree. Once children start reaching into the prepubescent phase, not even puberty, but the prepubescent phase, that's when things start to take place. Certain feelings, certain doubt starts to take place. And, you know, that's another step, and they start to challenge everything.
Right.
So,
Black.
yeah, totally agree with you on that. I agree 100%.
Like I said, what do parents do? What do you suggest parents would do with a blended family? How do they get the children to be compatible? Or do you advise parents if the children don't get along, you shouldn't go through with the blended family?
That's tough.
Get up here,
Essentially,
Jay Davila. I gotta ask you a question. I want to know why you feel that way. Tell me why you feel that way.
that's
Marcellus is busy right now. Darrell won't be here today. He'll be back some other time. So, let us know. Go ahead, E Black.
I think that's tough. The way me and my brother or my stepbrother got along is as simple as this. We got in a room and we fought it out until my parents said, "Okay, that's enough." It's really that simple. Sometimes kids just have to go through their dealings, and you're gonna have hierarchy. You're gonna have, of course, older brothers who feel that they're in a, I'm going to say it for the first time, alpha role. And you're going to have other siblings that want to be the favorites. And it's fine. But essentially, youth in most social societies, they figure it out. It's tough. But like I said, what ends up happening, what I found is that you will find out that when you take those group of children or those blended family members and you put them outside in society, they will protect the whole unit. Put them in those situations.
Right. Um, do you think that blended families should have a limit with kids? How many kids are involved?
Oh gosh, you talking about 6 bunk beds in a room?
Right, because doesn't that become expensive? Like,
Yeah, but I mean,
and then who's responsible for like the education? Who's responsible? Does the roles change? Because
first of
he
all,
said survival. He said women do it for survival. That's what E Black said. I think this isn't that ancestral, Aisha. That's kind of ancestral.
I forgot that was like on a Lifetime movie or something. I seen that.
yeah, so technically, technically, it technically would not be considered the I word because they do not share any genetic composition. They don't share any genetic composition, but you know,
So technically, it can go down.
yeah, because they're not bound
It's by law, not by blood.
They're not even really bound by law. It just happens that their father is married to the other. So, you know, if the mother doesn't even adopt the child too, they're not bound by anything.
So what if they accept the person's last name? Then that changes everything.
Well, in order to do that, that would require, some legal formalities. And a lot of times in many states, that requirement would be adoption. But in order for the adoption to take place, it has to be heavy, bro. Think about it.
He said, I believe it happens in many situations. Is that true?
What happens?
It happens.
What do you mean? It doesn't.
That's what I think. What you just said. I think he said it happens in many situations. I don't know. I never came from a good.
We talking about the I word, or we talking about? That's what I want to make sure what we talking about.
Yeah, Vaughn, can you tell us what you're talking about, Vaughn?
I think Country Wayne has a situation like that. And it's one of his skits where Blake, the daughter, is dating his son Tony, but she's technically like a adopted sister.
What do you mean?
Like okay, in one of Country Wayne's skits, he has Blake, which is a 14-year-old girl or 16-year-old girl, and he adopted her because her mom went to jail, and then his son, his 14-year-old boy, is dating the girl.
Right.
So, I mean, that's kind of the same scenario.
Well, I don't want to change this conversation to incest, but I just want to know that. Yeah, I don't want to go there. But does that happen?
Does that happen? Yeah, that kind of stuff happens.
Oh,
in blended families too, there's also acts of non-consensual abuse that takes place as well.
What is that?
It's abuse, non-consensual.
Yeah, abuse. But describe it. I know what it means by definition, but what is
okay? So you got two daughters. And you get married to a lady that has 3 sons, and one of them is older than her, and they're not used to having a female child in the house who's of, say, post-pubescent age. You get what I'm saying? It's happened.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So those kind of things happen, That's why it is important to understand compatibility. The same way we do with animals, we have to understand the natural habitat that those creatures come from. We have to understand their temperaments. We have to understand how they move instinctually and who they are.
Right.
Before we open the cage and allow other creatures into that habitat with them.
Right.
Because in certain habitats, one creature may be prey and another may be predator.
Right.
So it's important that we understand how those creatures are, within the same ecosystem. Yeah, so, having the kids play together, understanding, being candid between both prospective spouses before they get married, being honest and real, is going to be the thing that makes it work.
The funny thing is, in my opinion, I don't think people should. That blended family thing is a tricky thing, because how do you have that conversation with the children? You bring them all to dinner, and you say, listen, we are getting married? Or is it a phase out thing? Like me, it's easy for me to be with a woman with a child because you're just dealing with me. I could come up to the house, I could take out a dinner, but how do you do that for another family? How do you do that?
My mom and my stepdad, they did it real slick, slick. And I really appreciate what they did. They would be family events that my family would have, and there was family events his family would have. Literally, I would get invited. You know, we would go. My mom and I would go to their family events and be there with the kid, with the people that ended up becoming my sisters and my new cousins. Right?
Right.
They would be at ours. So I had no clue what was going on. You know, I just knew that this is mommy's friend, and I liked him. He was really cool. He was really tall, and he was strong. You know,
Right.
pick me up and throw me in the air. 6'5",
Right.
300 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, so I liked him. You know,
Right.
and whenever we would go by his family, they would be the kids and the girls. So we had no clue. We had no clue. I didn't even know that they were together. Like, I thought she was just mommy's really, really good friend. And he has really
Press mute. The truth is new. Never favorite press mute. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, that's it. It's
Yeah.
they were real clever the way they did it, though, man. You know, and I appreciate them for it.
Right. Jay Devella, what you had some input? Please talk to us.
Oh, you had, well, hey, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Flower. How are you?
Hey.
Yeah, tonight is basketball season for my youngest. So,
Ooh.
yeah,
Did he win? Did he
practices.
win? Was it practice or was it a game?
First game isn't until Tuesday, but it's still
All right, let's go. Let's get
practice.
that W. Let's get that W.
But that's definitely the, I think you said something about the preteen
Right.
age being that age where you don't really want to date. The blended family is probably not going to be a good idea.
Yes.
That's like the main reason where I'm just like, okay, I made the choice to be a mom, and my youngest is 13, my daughter is 15, and anyone who's a parent knows this is the age where they test you the most.
Ooh.
Like, so it becomes a, issue of, if you're dating somebody, are you okay with them disciplining your children and how they discipline and
Right.
that type of stuff? Then of course, that's that age, kids blaming other kids,
Right.
different kind of stuff. So I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna, I don't want to put my kids in that situation, and I don't want to put anybody else in that situation. So
If you don't
I
mind me
just,
asking, so you wouldn't put your kids in a situation, and I agree with you. Especially with me, I don't, if you have, I tend, if a woman has a daughter and I'm dating, I don't want to be around the daughter. I don't want to be around the daughter until I meet the father, right?
right.
Because I would love to have permission to be around his daughter. I don't want him to be around. I feel uncomfortable, right? Um, but would you allow a man without any kids to come into your life and date you?
Yes, but I'm like, since me and my ex broke up and I do have kids, things are slow. No, but my kids have not met anyone who I've talked to. I was actually dating someone and he was ready to meet my family. My mom was coming into town and I was just like, no, I'm not ready. And he was kind of like, well, all right. So, I was like, okay, it is what it is. I'm not ready. So,
Wow. So you let him go because you weren't ready.
yeah, and
What could
he
he?
was definitely what would be considered a quote unquote high value man.
Right.
But for me, financially, that's not, I mean, of course, two is always better than one. It could always be
Absolutely.
better, but it's not
Free.
really an issue for me.
Right.
And I don't get child support from my ex. I didn't ask for it or anything like that. So,
Right. Well, he helps out, so it's good. But what I want to say is, would you? What could he have done to make you feel more comfortable?
um, just be more patient. For me is like, um, a big part of it is, although definitely encourage honesty with everybody I deal with,
Mhm.
especially the men I deal with. I make them feel comfortable enough to be honest with me,
Right.
but I also consider that. And with him, he had out of town, quote unquote, options.
Right.
And it was like, okay, I get it, but I'm not going to commit to that. And I'm definitely not going to be introducing a man who's not only committed to me, to my kids. So
How did your kids never got to meet him at all?
my daughter actually saw him one day. He pulled up next to us.
Right.
We were at a light and he waved. But my daughter saw him, but I didn't, introduce them or anything. I
So
was just like,
right now you're not dating with intentions. You're dating for fun.
I'm not really dating. Like, I'm
I mean, but if you
super
were to
busy.
date because your kids are teens in the household, you're not dating for like marriage. You're dating for fun.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're dating for exploration and
You
experience.
got me ready to grill you, Jay Davila. You gotta say something, yo.
No, because I mean, men who approach me, of course, if we can't have a good conversation, then it's not going to be anything. If we can have a good conversation and that can continue and we can build a friendship, then that could possibly be long term. And as long as you're okay with us not jumping the gun, then I mean, I can consider that as, maybe this situation could change my mind. But I'm not really just out here.
I'm
I'm
not.
not out here like that because
I'm
I
not.
stay so
I'm
busy.
not
So
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You are super dope. Um, you're beautiful and brilliant. But I would, if I had a woman, or I had a if I had a woman that if I had a woman, I would. You'll be dope because what happens is you really are not going to bring anybody or assimilate anybody into your children's upbringing because you know the teenagers are the most vital years of their growth, and that's actually noble, in my opinion. That's noble, and it's actually selfish because I think you really do. A woman needs to be with someone, but you're really putting your kids first, and that's dope.
Hey,
my
Jay.
daughter is actually trying. She was like, "You're gonna look up and you're gonna be 50." And my mom was like, See, you need to listen to your daughter." I'm like, I'm not. I don't want to put anybody in any weird situations. I'm not wasting no more time. When it does happen, it'll be organic. I'm not
Yeah.
tripping. I don't. Everybody. Winter's coming. You hit the wall. So what? Nigga, what?
So you just
Anyway.
dating. So you're saying that you're not dating at all, or you just dating for the D?
No, I'm not right now. I'm not dating at all. The last guy who I was involved with was last November, so it's been almost a year, and he was actually someone who I had dated in my early 20s. So,
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, I got a question for you. It,
sure.
are your children? Do you plan on your children going to? It's a kind of a two-part question. One is the exit plan, and then the second part is: do you plan on your children leaving the house after 18?
Ooh, I like the second one a
Um,
lot.
I'm hoping my children. What do you mean as far as the exit plan?
What I
I
mean
mean,
is,
go ahead.
go ahead, King.
I think it's like you're saying that you're not having a man in the household because your kids are going through this teenage years. So if they don't leave the house after 18 years old, does the rule still apply?
I'm pretty sure they're gonna go to college, so I hadn't really thought about that.
Right. Hold on, Cheryl. We can't do a super chat because after you get 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours, you have to apply for it, and it takes 2 to 4 weeks. So I applied for it as soon as I came home, um, and I applied for it. And thank you so much, Cheryl, for all your help. So we're just waiting right now to end up getting the super chat and everything else. So that's how it works. It's actually called YouTube Partner Program. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jay. Hello, Jay.
Oh yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So you're also including the college years as well.
No, once they off to college, then it's whatever. But
I'm assuming you're in your late 20s, right? I'm assuming you're in your late 20s, and so you have time to give up the 4 years. You know, like that. No,
yeah,
actually, more than four
sure.
years. You're giving up like literally like 7, 8.
Honestly,
Hey, let's not break her down now, guys.
No, no, I'm not breaking that down. I'm just saying that I don't want her to have. I believe in romance, as you can see. Shout out to Love and Life, The Eyes of Travel, right? And as other people in my past have alluded to, I love romance and I love dating. I think Jade Davila is a beautiful woman, and I think she needs to be swept off her feet. And I also think that somebody should take her to different countries and romance her. So I don't want to ever give up the dating, but what she's doing is admirable. It's dope. It's dope, but I don't want you to lose the good years and it's not experience love. I didn't say marriage, but love and romance. Somebody's
I
eating some
get
cat.
that.
Yeah,
I definitely understand. I'm not against it. It's just I'm not proactively seeking it just because of all that I have going on, from
right,
my day job to the multiple businesses, and now we're finally getting back into the swing of things with the sports and stuff.
right.
But my kids, hopefully they go to college, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not outruling it, but
Would you
I'm
do a
just not
long distance
out here looking
relationship?
for it.
Would you
Plus,
do a long?
honestly, I don't know if I ever want to, like, the place where I'm at now, even if I didn't have kids, I would not want to live with a man. Like, I would be totally okay if he wanted to buy properties next to each other and live like that, but I don't know. It would take a whole lot for me to get me to change on living with a man again. So
Wow. Chef, I just look at something. Is super stickers like what you were talking about? No, that's not the same thing.
Whatever they pay for, just like on IG, whatever they pay for, you get a cut out of it.
But is that the green pill thing?
No. That's custom emoji. Like for instance, you got custom emojis, and then you even have little graphics that become members if they sign up for membership. Like on La Peep channel, they have that little shield next to you. On our channel, we could literally have it where all of the members would have the green pill, the true pill.
Okay. Okay.
You know?
All
Yo,
right.
man. Side note, that merch ideas right now, man.
What? What merch I did?
Ooh,
I mean, like I said, the true pill. That's why I said you gotta form your thing like he has on his page. You have to form it on your page and on your page for because you could do that now. I'm thinking you waiting for. I don't know. I was wondering why you waiting for the monetization because you started the true pill idea, the green pill.
oh, I'm already.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I was wondering what's going on.
I'm already.
That's why I'm reading the chats right now, and I'm like, that I was getting confused. That's why I asked you. If you look at the chats, because I think Dawn asked the question, and then you answered. Then people
Yeah,
start.
I'm already. Yeah, I'm already in the process of licensing the intellectual property. So it's
Dope.
yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Truth is never favored. What's up, brother?
What's going on, my dear?
Nothing much.
Good to you, fellas. How y'all
Peace.
doing this evening?
And we doing great.
How you doing, Miss J. Davila?
Hey, Truth. Hey, Truth. Do you have something in the background?
No, I turned off everything. Why?
Are you on Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're probably got to get out of there.
Let me see.
This is a call tonight. I mean,
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's. Hey, you still got an echo. Right?
Yeah, I don't have anything on. I turned everything off for real. So
We'll just
maybe
take
I
no,
need.
we'll just take our time.
Hello?
Yeah, was it sounding like when I first came in?
No, you sound good, man. Go ahead, man. I'm not into this whole.
All
Yeah.
right, but all right. My two experiences from the blended family. One was when I was young, and one was when I actually experienced being a stepdad of my own. So me being young, uh, my mom and you know, her ex fiance, they took their time first.
Mm-hmm.
They built their own individual relationship, and then she brought me out there to meet his son. And they actually left us there to get to know each other while they actually went to dinner. So we was left there like like the whole entire day to get to know each other, talk, play video games. We went outside, just parlayed for real and got to know each other. So that's how my experience is as far as being young that was built, and from then on, our relationship was great. The same thing, like I think somebody else was talking about it. Each one of our families, we went to family functions, parties, birthdays. We did it like if he had a birthday, we went to it. If I had a birthday, they came to us. So we each had our own individual lifestyles, but we brought them together. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So for the most part, it was good. That relationship, as far as with me being with my stepbrother, he passed away last year.
My
Um,
condolences.
all right, thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, it lasted for 23 years.
Right.
So my experience of that was a good one. I gained a brother, I gained a family member. So it wasn't so much bad. Now, when I became the stepdad, sort of like what you said,
Right.
I'm not too keen on coming into another man's domain, even if the family is broken up. You feel what I'm saying? That's another man's child.
Right.
But a lot of females don't understand that. And at the time, old boy was locked up, and I told her, I was like, "Look, we just getting to know each other. I don't play with children. Like I have an affinity for children. I really love children. I care about them, and I have a childlike heart, and I always can remember all my interactions and my experiences at being a child and what I didn't like, and certain guys coming in when my mother had relationships and how I didn't look at it.
Right.
And on top of that, she had a son.
Turn down the volume a little bit.
Oh,
Turn down the volume. Thank you, Vic.
how's that?
That's a little better.
All right. So yeah, she had a little boy, and I'm a man, so I'm really conscious about that, you know, about what I'm bringing towards his lifestyle and who he is. He has his own DNA. He has DNA of his father. You feel what I'm
Yes.
saying? So you got to be careful with that type of stuff. So me and her had got into it because she thought I had a problem with, being around son. I said that type of stuff is very delicate, and we have to take our time. So
Absolutely.
one day she slid, and she was supposed to leave, drop me off, and then go pick her son up.
Mm-hmm.
But she said I'll be back, and went and grabbed her son and brought him back to the house. So
Mm.
then then it took off from there. Like it wasn't nothing I can do. So then on top of that, I was like, all right, we're just gonna take it from here. This is the first experience I had as far as me integrating myself into another little guy's life like that. All my other relationships, they wasn't serious. So I always kept, you know, that side basically isolated. I said, yo, we not gonna link up unless you got time. And your time is supposed to be for your children first.
Right.
I don't care what we gotta do. Like we gonna show face, we gonna link up, we gonna do us, but it has to be to your children first. If they go with their people is your dad and they're secure, then we can link up. But it has to be to their first. And a lot of females, when they try and do them, they don't care. They'll put the baby to sleep and then let you in. And a couple of times I had to say, no, I'm going back home. I don't do this.
Right.
So that relationship with me and Shorty, and I still love the dude to this day, but the problem is with me and her, we're not cool. And she don't even allow me to see him.
Why is that?
Just because we not like, she feel as though if we're not seeing each other, then I don't need to be in his life. Respectfully, I understand that. But she doesn't understand that this is why I didn't want to meet him in the first place, because you don't look at how that affects us. You know, that affect me, that I built the relationship with Shorty. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I was there when she went to work, you know, helping her out, watch him and all that type of stuff.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? They don't understand that type of stuff.
Let me ask you a question. Truth is never proven. This is everybody. Can you press as a crackling?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what? Isn't there another form of blended family where is that one person has children by multiple partners and the other person doesn't have any children? That's a blended family as well. How do you feel about that? What if she had? What if you had multiple baby mothers and she was coming into that? Is that an easier blended family to handle? And I think that's more normal, right?
Yeah, I was about to. That's funny that you asked that, because that was the next one I was about to go into.
Oh wow, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, I have two different. I had two different children by two different baby mothers. My children are 6 months apart. I call them my twins because they so close apart. They was babies at the same time.
Okay.
But then I got married 7 years ago, and
Are
my
you from
wife
Baltimore?
Say that again.
Are you from Baltimore?
You got married. You got married.
I can hear it.
Yeah, so we got married 7 years ago, and she had no children.
Okay.
So that was a difficult situation, trying to ingratiate my children, you know, as far as with her, because she was the only child. She didn't have no children. She was always, you know, to herself. So it takes a different level of understanding, that a lot of people say that every woman has this, you know, this capability, this patience, this endless love for children. That's not true. That stuff got to be developed.
Right.
And that's understandable. Everybody, I don't expect everybody, you know, to be like me, and I don't expect everyone to have this emphatic, endless love for somebody's children that they haven't got to know. Relationships are built through time, through patience, through experience.
Yes.
That's what takes time to cultivate. And sometimes people come with unrealistic expectations. I didn't. I told her, like, it's going to take some time. You know, my children, all they have ever known, I have never brung my children around no other female out of all the females I've dealt with. Never. Right. This is the first woman they ever, you know, got to know and ingratiate themselves with. Was my wife, and I purposely did it that way. But it was taxing.
Why was it taxing?
Like I said, it's little subtle things where you can tell people is just not, you know, uncomfortable with the activity of children.
Right.
Also, you know, when my children, because I brought my children up in the broken homes, of course. I wasn't married to their moms. So when I'm getting them, I'm a hands-on dad. I'm very affectionate with my kids. It's all about them when they come around. I say I neglected her, but when they come around, it's me and them. It's game time. And that's how I am. That's how I always been.
It seems like you love the children. You love the children more than you love the woman.
You said it seemed like I love my children more than I love my wife?
No, you seem like you love children more than you love the lady at times.
Yo, Truth. When after you speak, hit mute.
Okay, but no, I mean, like I said, it's different when you have, because that's why I brought up the first scenario about when my mom had got to know someone with a child. It's different when you bring in children in versus
Right.
someone that doesn't have a child, because it seems like when you're spending time with them, another person is left out.
Okay.
I didn't say we did things by ourselves. I didn't say, oh, when we went to the movies, it's just me and the children. No, we all went. Went to the playground. When we went to the soccer, basketball, football games, we went to as a family. Majority of things we did as a family. But
Right.
also, I have individualistic relationships with each one of my children. My
Right.
children are their own individual people. We do things that they like. I have a boy and a girl,
Okay.
and they're their own people. They're brought up with two different moms, so they got their own personalities, their own likes, things like that, and they got their own relationship with me that we do things. So it's hard to ingratiate basically loving three different people at one time,
Right.
and that goes into why it's so important to marry before you have children, because these are the complications that you don't have to deal with.
Right. I
So
probably always go back to that. It's problematic if you have a child before marriage. Does everybody on the panel agree with that?
I didn't hear
Can you
you.
ask that again? Ask that again, please.
I feel like we always come back to this thing where it becomes problematic, kind of like what Truth is Never Favorite said. Just said, if you have children before marriage, is that problematic?
It can become problematic if there's things that needed resolution that didn't have resolution. It can definitely become problematic. But there's certain
Press
people,
mute, please. Thank you.
yeah, there's certain people that are balanced enough and reasonable enough and tactful enough and graceful enough. You know, if you find that person that exhibits your same level of grace or even more than you, it can make a major difference. But if there's going to be something problematic, it's going to be the equivalent of if you met that person and neither one of you had kids. That problem would end up manifesting itself some way. So that to me would be same shit. You know, of course, once you have the additional children,
Right.
going to create a bigger gap. And I always use this when I say that somebody's having an unfair conversation with you. I always liken it to you trying to fight somebody while you're holding a baby because you're protecting something at the same time that you're fighting with someone else. So if you guys, if both of you were single trying to resolve the issues, it would be a fair fight. Yeah,
Let me,
I know he black. Michael
let,
Michael.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. From the people in the chat, who is Wills? Who are the Wills they talk about? Who is that? Because they keep
Mike
on
Will.
saying,
Mike Will made it.
who's
Yeah,
Mike
there's
Will?
Mike Will made it.
it's
I'm
a
new
it's
to the YouTube world. Who is that?
it's a very long story. I'll pick you up to the game, but he's being very good tonight.
Can
So
oh, no. Don't get nothing twisted. Whatever vicinity I'm in with, if it's respect, it's respect.
It's
You
always
feel
respect.
what I'm
You know,
saying?
I'm new to this.
Already.
You know, I'm new to this. I don't know what they're talking about. So can you help me out?
Oh, hey, I'm not tripping off of nobody in that chat for real, for real.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You heard me? So
Okay, okay, okay. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the chat because I like to get the guardian. And
hey,
then
hey,
so I
no,
know you came I
it's a
know you
lot of
came here with respect. Let's go.
it's a lot of fandom, and then it's a lot of lames I don't deal with. You feel what I'm saying? So I just carry myself totally different, and people ain't used to that. They used to suckers. So feel what I'm
Okay.
saying? So,
Okay,
but
well,
that's what
I know you came on here, you show respect for the whole show. I appreciate
already,
it.
so
already.
mute real quick. Hey Mike, mute real quick.
Yeah. I just didn't know who it was. That's all. I saw everybody talking about it.
Yeah. So the thing is that like I said, this is
I
one of the
can't
great.
see it. I'm gonna check it out.
Okay.
So this is the one great thing about this space is that I've seen a lot of people in different spaces, and when they come here, they've been given they've been given nothing but respect, and I love that about that. So I've personally seen Mike in action. He's a solid brother. He's also one of the brothers you don't want to mess with, but there's a lot of other things that I've seen him do that hopefully, like I said, hope he keeps that over there, and we'll be all good, right?
I don't know what's going on. I just don't know they were saying who's that. You feel me?
No,
And I know in this show. I know in this show we always have like funny things happen. Where is that? Who's that guy? I got to see his face. Bolo TV, right? So I don't. I thought it was one of those things. Like I never got to see Mike's face. That's why I'm like, who's Mike?
No, Mike a good dude. He usually he drives a car. I've seen him in his car a couple of times. He's a good dude. I ain't got no problem. Like I said, I just want him to, like I said, this is not the battle dome over here, man. We good over here. So just,
Right. Well, I'm just glad he got to share his stories, and I hope they helped a lot of people. I appreciate that, Mike. Hello.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, no, I just had to go through the little chat to see who talking. There's only one person there talking, and that's Shorty that I try to ingratiate myself. I just got a slim timer for as far as tolerance. I just don't play no games.
Oh, but is there anybody we can come at peace?
Oh no. See, listen, one thing I am, like you see, I'm very respectful. I'm very loyal.
Right.
That's how I am off jump. You disrespect me, that's it.
Oh, okay.
You only got one time. Yeah, you only got one time to cross because I don't carry myself like that.
Okay.
I don't carry myself like that. Anybody I ingratiate myself with, they know. I don't carry myself like that. You got one time to cross me, and then that's it. I don't play no games. A lot of people want you to be basically, to conform to their liking.
Right.
And I'm me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm who I am.
Okay.
And as long as respect is there, you're going to get respect. And it take a lot for me to actually get to the point where you're going to see a very ugly side. It take a lot.
Right.
But a lot of people, they got their, they fans. They got their people who they quote unquote want to throw their pom-poms up for. And then if you basically be real with them about them, then that's when they start being disrespectful. And then I don't play that.
Okay.
So that's just how it is. But it ain't nothing. Nobody matters. We talking about something real important right now.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to what Chef was talking about.
Please don't.
Say that again.
Oh, please. And guess what? I'm glad you said that. You know why? Because I'm about to go to this page right now. We make the transition to this page at 10 o'clock. And I'm glad you got my answer on his page. Transfer everybody to his page.
All right, bet.
All right, so Jeff, would you mind giving the garden proverbs to have everybody head out? Would you mind giving the garden proverbs? And we go into your page. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, rocks and flowers, I want to say I thank you. That was funny, Hanifa. He said dive in. But I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, Shovel, you didn't tell us that when you was here. We'll figure that later. Thank you so much. Y'all could go and dress in the chef page. But thank you so much for giving me to 1,000 subscribers. I appreciate you. Tomorrow will be Conversations with Queens at 9 o'clock. Please be there. We did a great job, but it's now the goal is to get to 10,000. So share this with everybody. Today was a quiet, cool evening. It was Monday. We're coming back from the weekend. It wasn't that spicy because I think we had a lot of, we had a good day today. So tomorrow we come with Conversation with Queens, and then Wednesday we'll be back with that spiciness. So without further ado, Chef, please give them the garden proverbs, and immediately we all will be heading to Chef page. Thank you.
Can we get somebody to drop Chef's page in the chat?
It's his name. It's his name. It's his name.
It's my name. You guys remember on YouTube, you got to type Chef and then put a space, and then put Chipino for YouTube.
Just like his name, right under there. This is right there, and it says exactly where you want it. That's it. You ready?
You ready to rock?
Let's go.
What's good? It's your boy Chef, and you just have spent about 3 hours in the garden. Where does the garden exist? The garden, it does not exist within the manosphere. It exists within a totally different universe called our sphere. Our sphere is a totally different, special kind of place. But one of hold on, I gotta get deep for you. Yeah. So within the garden, our true pill community garden, because we are not red pill, we are not blue pill, we are true pill. And within the true pill community garden, we have two pivotal life forces that run the garden. They are the flowers and they are the rocks. What makes them important? The flowers are a life. Without foliage, without plants, without trees, without flowers, no life would be able to exist. Air quality would not be the same. Breathing, asthma, all different types of issues would take place. So why is that? Because those wonderful flowers, those precious flowers, they take the light from the sun and they use photosynthesis to transfer that light and create oxygen that we breathe. And not only do they create oxygen, but they also create life for not just their own garden, but other ecosystems by virtue of the birds and the bees, carrying various nutrients and seeding. But that life that they give us by virtue of that photosynthesis is beautiful because we take it, we breathe it in. And what happens after we use that energy and expel that oxygen? We expel it as carbon dioxide, which they then take again, using photosynthesis and light from the sun to turn it back into oxygen, which they therefore breathe back into us, which means metaphorically they allow us to live. We use that energy, breathe it out, which means they take our crap and are still able to come breathe life back into us like health means. It's a beautiful thing. What do the rocks do? We, the men, the rocks, we sit on the outer perimeter of the garden and we protect those wonderful flowers from any incursions. How was that? No one would mistakenly step on our rose or step on our flowers because they would first have to succumb to the sharp pain of stone beneath their feet. So we stand vigilant in our garden. We also protect our garden from weeds that may present themselves as flowers, but may for a more nefarious purpose to choke out the life of our precious flowers. So we remain vigilant against those as well. So what I do say is, if you come in peace, please welcome and take your rightful eternal place within this garden. But if you come for something else, please understand that your incursion will be met with swift justice.
And we are off to Chef Page. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. Rocks and flowers to the entire garden. I love y'all for real. Thank you.